Hi, my name is Sam and this is my student Owen. Today we're going to talk about bowing. We're going to talk about your right hand technique and how to bow on a bass. And I'm going to use Owen here as my dummy. So, first thing we're going to talk about is the type of bow we're going to use today. The type of bow we're going to use today is a French bow. French bow looks very similar to a violin bow, but for a bass it's much, much bigger. There is a screw, a frog, the bow stick, the bow hair, and then of course the bow tip. So if you put out your hand like this, okay, first thing we're going to do is set the bow in your hand. Okay, we're going to move the thumb over to the frog here, like this. We're going to curve that first finger around the bow and then keep our pinky over here. So now we have control over the bow. Go ahead and flip that over. Okay, and then bend ever so slightly that way. And now you can see how the bow is held. When you're holding the bow like this, you want to make sure that you wrap your finger all the way around the bow so it's touching this part of your finger, because when you turn your wrist, that's how you'll apply pressure onto the string. Alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to start just a simple bow stroke, a downstroke. Downstroke is when you pull the bow this way. And in that downstroke, we have to apply pressure to the string. And then once we start the bow, we can relax our hand and release some of that pressure and allow the bow to do the rest of the work. Would you please bow an A? And you get this kind of sound. Now, could you give too much pressure as an example of what too much pressure would be like? So you don't get a very good sound, it's kind of raspy. Now, would you give not enough pressure? And you get hardly any tone at all. So you have to practice this over and over again, trying to get that really good tone. Okay? Now there are 4 aspects to bowing, I like to say. The first aspect being pressure, which we just talked about. Okay? The second aspect is going to be speed, how fast you move the bow. Now the speed of the bow is going to control the volume of the instrument. Would you do a very slow bow on the D string? So you can hear that this is a very quiet tone. Alright, do an up bow very quickly. Alright, so the volume there was considerably different. You have the low volume for the very slow bow, high volume for the very fast bow. The third aspect is going to be your location. Right now, Owen has been bowing as what we call the sweet spot of the bass. And the sweet spot's different for each string. The sweet spot is the place where the bow and the string react the easiest and give you the warmest and biggest tone. Now we're going to try different locations on the string, and you're going to notice a difference in tone and also a difference in volume. So go ahead and play Tosto. So this would be above the fingerboard. Okay, so this gives you a softer, a little bit airy tone. Go back to the sweet spot. Same speed. It's a slight difference. You get more tone, a little bit more volume. Now drop it way down close to the bridge. Use the same bow speed. And there's an obvious difference in the tone and the volume. And then the final aspect is just my own little pet peeve, and this one I've heard many different stories about which is correct and which is not, is that when you're playing on the string, I like your bow hair to have full contact with the string. So when you have the bow on the string, it is perpendicular. It is not tilted like this or like this. You keep it completely perpendicular so all of the hair is in contact with the string. Now, I want you to experiment when you're practicing with your bowing in different locations on the bass. Very good. So that you get a sense of what it sounds like, you get a sense of how much pressure is needed. You'll note that as you move towards the bridge, you'll need more pressure. As you move towards the fingerboard, you'll need less pressure. I want you to experiment with the speed of your bow. Move it quicker, move it slower. Make sure that when you're practicing, you use the full length of the bow so that you're starting here at the frog, about an inch from the frog, and moving all the way to about an inch from the tip. In our next video, we're going to have Owen practice the open string long tone exercises, and you'll be able to practice with him.